I'm Tony Watler II, and I want to represent you as a congressman for these United States of America. Hey guys, the Black Critic Guy, and I'm here today with a new review, and not only that, it's a TV review, sorta. I mean, it's on Netflix, but if you have Netflix, you have no excuse but to go see House of Cards. I mean, it is phenomenal. It's so good. So the basic premise of House of Cards is it follows this guy by the name of Frank Underwood, who's the majority whip of the US Congress. After being rejected from the position of Secretary of State, which he was promised, he develops a plan to take down the people that have betrayed him through a series of back-end dealings and a lot of use of politics, and this is where the story begins. Now, I actually heard a lot about House of Cards. First off, it's Netflix's first original series. It's gonna be only on Netflix, and not only that, they released the entire first season. They didn't wait for like, oh, week 1, week 2, the next episode, week 3, the next episode. No, they released the entire first season, all 13 episodes. You can watch it now on Netflix, and I gotta say, I could not stop watching it. Even after I finished it, I watched it over and over again. It is so compelling. It is so intriguing. It is so amazing. It's so interesting to watch. Now for some interesting facts that you probably didn't know. Like, the show was based on a series in Great Britain by the same name, and it was based off of a book by the same name, and it's also from the guy that brought us The Ides of March. He wrote it with George Clooney in them, and I was like, oh, that makes sense, because there were a lot of scenes and a lot of like dialogue that was very similar to Ides of March, and that's why I was like, oh, makes sense. Now let's talk about why I really enjoy this series. And first off, if I don't mention this first, I'm gonna slap myself, because Kevin Spacey is so captivating in this role. He is perfect. I mean, this character is just so magnetizing. You're just glued to the screen saying, what's the next plan? What's the next part of the strategy? This guy is so commanding. He has such a presence, and he's so powerful. He knows how to get shit done, and man, does he get shit done. He knows how to control a situation, and he is just awesome to watch. But I mean, granted, he is kind of a selfish prick. He does use a lot of people and throws a lot of people under the bus, but you just can't help but love this lovable asshole. He's just compelling. And not only is he an interesting character, but there are a lot of well executed and well fleshed out characters. You really understand these characters emotionally and politically. Like, you see the back deals that they do, how some of the emotional strains of doing some of the deals they did affected them. And I loved how all the characters were really developed, especially Peter Russo, who I felt like was a really well developed character. And believe it or not, he's the same guy that played Ernest Hemingway in Midnight in Paris. I didn't even believe it the first time I saw it. I was like, what? That's the same guy? But it's the same guy. The writing and dialogue is captivating in this series. And I know I keep saying captivating, but it's so true. You're just glued to what the situation's about. You'd think you would be bored about them talking about politics, but something about it, there's an essence about it that makes you compelled to keep watching. And you want to see how Frank Underwood's gonna like change the situation to be in his favor instead of the other guy's favor. You want to see him get the upper hand on people and how he does that. And he does this thing where he like looks into the camera as if he was talking to you. I thought that was awesome. His little soliloquies where he goes off a screen and breaks the fourth wall are probably one of the coolest moments, where he breaks it down in detail what he's about to do next, and you're like, oh wow, I can't wait to see what he's gonna do. And complimenting the characters, the acting is solid across the board. There is not one weak character in this entire series. And one of the few actresses that kind of surprised me was this actress by the name of Kate Mara, who is Rooney Mara's little sister, and I was like, I didn't even see the family resemblance at first, but yeah, she surprised me. She really handled all of her scenes very well. As a new up-and-coming actress that I've never seen before, she handled her scenes very well with Frank Underwood. Like, she has a commanding presence as well that she feels kind of threatening, and I really like the way that she delivered all of her lines, her dialogue. She was an interesting character, and she's a great actress. I can't wait to see more. One major aspect that fascinated me was the relationship and chemistry between Frank and Claire Underwood. They have one of the most dynamic relationships I've ever seen on a TV show, because their relationship is not based on love solely, it's based on mutual understanding and respect. And they tackle on something in this show that I was like, wow, they handled that so calmly. I mean, they weren't mad, or the other spouse wasn't mad about it, and they're so open with each other. There's no secrets, there's no lying. They have the strongest relationship in this entire show, and they are just interesting. And Robin Wright does a fantastic job as Claire Underwood as well. I wanted to mention that. And lastly, the direction, cinematography, and score is handled perfectly. It really sets the tone for what the show is about. And David Fincher directed 2 episodes, and he serves as the executive producer for the show. He does a really good job, and I was actually really surprised that he did this. And honestly, I can't even think of anything wrong with this series. I mean, there was one moment where there was a blip on my radar where I was like, I don't really understand why that was thrown in, but I thought about it and it didn't really ruin my overall enjoyment of the series, and thus it wasn't really that big of a con. So overall, as you can tell, I absolutely adore this show. I cannot praise it enough. It's one of the best shows I've seen in 2013. It is definitely a contender now, and hopefully The Walking Dead will step its game up and beat it. Who knows? 3rd season is coming out this Sunday, but overall, I'm gonna give this show a 5 out of 5 stars. It's definitely an epic masterpiece. If you have Netflix, you have no damn excuse not to see this show. Go see it right now. But anyway, what did you guys think of this show? Did you like it a lot like I did, or did you think it was another political drama that doesn't interest me? It's boring. And let me know, what is your favorite political drama? Movie, TV show, what have you? Comment below, let me know. Also, stay tuned next week for the epic return of the final cut, where we'll be talking nothing but romance for the week of romance, Valentine's week. So stay tuned for that. On Monday, we're going to be talking about romance movies, and on Thursday, we're going to be talking about romance animes. And also stay tuned, I'll be having a review up of Identity Theft. I'm gonna go watch it tonight. But till then, hit that subscribe button if you're new to my channel. Welcome to the Black Critic Guy. Like this video if you really enjoyed it. And I'm Tony Watley II from the Black Critic Guys. Till then, peace, YouTube.